Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Fiz Ahmed. I am student of BTS first year. My topic is the renal physiology. In my previous video, I have explained about the first chapter of renal physiology from GUYTON, which is the renal blood flow, glomerular filtration, and its control. And now I will discuss about the processing of filtrate in the tubules in the process of urine formation. So I will start with the phenomena of the urine formation. So let's start. The filtration of the plasma occur within the glomerulus and the filtrate appear in the Bowman's capsule. This is called the glomerular filtrate. The glomerular filtrate then go to the proximal tubule, loop of Henle, then distal tubule and the collecting duct, and then from collecting duct it will go to the pelvis. During the whole course of the transportation of this glomerular filtrate, the reabsorption and secretion of certain substances occur. So the glomerular filtrate, after whole processing through its overall course, appear into the pelvis, and this filtrate after the processing is known as the urine. There are two processes which are involved in the tubular reabsorption of the certain substances throughout the whole nephron. The first is the active transport, in which the primary active transport of sodium and calcium ions occur, and secondary active transport, which we can also call as the uh, counter transport of sodium with glucose and amino acids, and the secondary active secretion of the hydrogen ion and the potassium ion, and obviously the passive transport, which include the osmosis of the water and the diffusion of the urea and the chlorine ion. Now I will discuss about the active transport of sodium and potassium ions. The first step in the transport of sodium and potassium involve the sodium potassium ATPase system, which occur on the basolateral surface of the tubular epithelial cells. This system transport 3 sodium ions out of the cell into the peritubular capillaries and 2 potassium into the cell. But this potassium ion will diffuse back into the interstitium because this wall of tubular epithelial cell is more permeable to the potassium ion. So this creates the negative electrical gradient within the tubular epithelial cell, which is minus 70 MV. The second step is that the sodium will passively transport from the tubular lumen through its brushy border into the anterior of the tubular epithelial cell, and this transport will occur due to the three reasons. The first one is the electrical gradient, because the electrical gradient within the cell is minus 70 MV, and in the tubular lumen it is minus 3 MV. The second reason is the concentration gradient. The concentration of the sodium within the cell is less, and the concentration of sodium in the lumen is greater, so sodium will passively transport into the anterior of the cell. And the third reason is by the facilitated diffusion, and we can call it as the co-transport of sodium with glucose and amino acids. So it is also known as the facilitated diffusion of the sodium. And now I will discuss about the reabsorption of the important substances into the tubular epithelial cell. The first one is the bicarbonate ion. As we know that the CO2 is lipid soluble and can cross the border of the tubular epithelial cell. So the CO2 within the epithelial cell will combine with the H2O, and it will form H2CO3 by the action of the carbonic anhydrase. This H2CO3 will dissociate into bicarbonate ion and the H ion, hydrogen ion. This bicarbonate ion will absorb in the tubular epithelial cell, and the hydrogen ion by the counter transport with this sodium will move out into the tubular lumen, and the absorption of the protein will occur by the pinocytosis of protein from lumen into the tubular cells. And when they enter the tubular cells, they are transformed into the amino acids, and amino acids by the facilitated diffusion will move to the interstitium of the renal. Now I will discuss about the different substance reabsorbed and secreted in different parts of nephron. So I will start with the proximal tubule, in which the reabsorption of the sodium, potassium, chlorine ion, glucose amino acids and water occur, and the secretion of H ions and ammonia occur. If we consider the loop of Henle, the descending loop of Henle is impermeable to sodium, so the reabsorption of water will occur. In the thin ascending loop, the secretion of urea will occur, and in the thick ascending loop, which is impermeable to water, the reabsorption of sodium, potassium, and chlorine will occur. In the distal tubules, the reabsorption of sodium, chlorine, and water will occur, and the secretion of H ions, potassium ions, and ammonia will occur. And within the collecting tubule, the absorption of water by the action of antidiuretic hormone will occur, and the urea, and the secretion of H ion will occur to balance the acid base balance. So here we are done with our the whole process of the urine formation. That's how the filtrate travel within the tubules, and the reabsorption and the secretion of the important substances occur, and then finally the urine form and it will go to the pelvis, from where it will uh, uh, through the urethra it will excrete out of the body. So here we have completed our second chapter of the renal physiology. Thank you so much.